The joy of a lifetime will be achieved, and there's no doubt going to be some incredible action all along the way. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. We'll see the Wisconsin Badgers facing the UCLA Bruins.
You got that right. I mean, this is what each student-athlete has worked so hard for all season long. An opportunity for the title. I mean, this game might very well be the defining moment for the lives of every one of these young men.
Both these teams have gone through so much adversity just to make it here. All tournament long, it's been survive and advance. But now, this is the part where you put all your chips on the table and just lay it on the line.
Let's check out Wisconsin's starting lineup. They've got Decker. Hawkins is out there with Hill. Then it's Kaminsky, and it's Evans in a power forward position. Freak with it. Now defended by Decker. And that one's good. Freak.
And with any championship game, you know that every player is going to have their heart racing for the first few minutes. That's just natural. That's adrenaline. They'll need to remain calm, though, and let the game come to them and kind of ease into it.
And one guy, guys, I'll keep an eye on in this one is Freak. He is the consummate leader for his team. He can come out strong and play his game while keeping his intensity level up. It'll be just what they need to claim the title. And not many people know this, but the Badgers do have one college title in their trophy case. Won the tournament back in 1941. A different time back then, but a title nevertheless.
He always knows where his teammate's going to be, and, Kevin, that will let him put the ball where he wants it, right waiting for him.
The tray, and the Bruins another three. And the Badgers with possession here. 4-point game.
And as we see Freak and his team go for the title here, he is trying to repeat what he did just a year ago. He was able to lead his high school to the PSAL championship.
Well, Greg, he was a 4-time All-American selection in high school and a unanimous one at that. He's won state titles before, but this is a different animal than high school.
Here's Fresh. Following the basket by Sam Decker. And that's out of bounds. UCLA will retain possession.
Yeah, that's a super defensive play. If that gets through, no doubt they score.
And that's why he sold out for it, because he knew he had to make that play. He wasn't going to let them get the advantage.
Here's Barton. Out to the right wing. Freak kicks to Starks. Shot is off. So the Badgers will take it the other way. Conley dishes to Fisher. The Badgers working the ball around now. Fires the three. Conley's shot is off. Starks outside, and a wide open look for Freak. Good on the three-point shot. Freak's got 9.
How in the world did they let him get that wide open?
Now Fisher. Gibson with the screen on Starks. Gibson the screen. Hill up top. And right away they match it with a three-pointer of their own. Hill's got his first 3 points of the game.
They can't guard us on the perimeter. Let's spread the floor and isolate up top. Spacing, fellas. Spacing.
Campbell is checked in for UCLA. Walker's checked in for Wisconsin. Hawkins comes in for Fisher. Goodman in at shooting guard. Thomas is out there with Johnson. Then there's Campbell, and it's Starks in at the 1. The Badgers pull it in.
You know what? His finishing ability, not really at the level that you would expect from a pro, but he's going to have to start playing with more force.
And Wisconsin looking at who they've got. They've got Hill. He's out there with Hawkins. And it's Conley in at the small forward. Badgers shooting their first shots of the night from the charity stripe. And that one falls for Wade. And now a new group getting ready to come in for the Bruins. Roberts is checked in for Thomas. Looney comes in for Johnson. Porter's checked in for Freak. And Free subbed in for Starks. And Wisconsin also making a switch. Decker's checked in. And the big game is just about ready to get going for our second half of play. What a championship atmosphere we've got here tonight. We are just one half of basketball away from seeing college basketball history being made.
And in a championship game like this one, guys, you would have expected a close battle. I don't think either side is going to be able to run away and hide in this one.
And, Greg, tight games like this are where legends are born. I mean, if a player like Freak can come up huge in this final half of play, he'll anchor himself in school history as one of the greats to ever play the game.
Goodman, he's in at 3. Fresh is out there with Free, and it's Roberts in at the 5, roaming the paint. And for the Badgers, we've got Hawkins. He's out there with Hill. Decker is out there with Kaminsky. And it's Evans in at the 4 spot.
The second he got around the pick and shook his man, it was straight to the bucket for the easy deuce. Very, very well done.
Badgers shooting their 4th shot at the foul line here. UCLA trails by 3. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
Looney passes to Goodman. High post try, and that one's good. Freak's got 11.
You know, one of the big questions on everybody's mind in this game is whether or not Freak will stay on for another year or go pro. I mean, usually a player with his upside would be a lock to be a one and done, but he's giving serious thought to staying.
And Freak is a guy who clearly values the scholastic aspect of collegiate sports, so it makes sense for him to think about staying beyond this season. Still, with Freak's draft stock rising, this could be his final game as a collegiate player.
Pass to Looney. To the middle. Fresh, the pass to Roberts. Here's Goodman. And the Bruins, another 3.
He is on fire from beyond the arc.
Yeah, it seems like all of his points are coming from deep, Greg.
Now, here is Hill. He's got 6. Kicks to Decker. Pass to Hawkins. The Badgers working the ball around now. And again, it's the Badgers missing.
As a player, you always want to be able to answer back, but he just didn't have it in him that time.
Looney passes to Goodman. Pass to Looney. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Roberts. And it's off from 3-point range. Roberts gone 1 of 3 on the night. Hawkins against Free. Hill has the open look. Again missing Hill. Here's Free. The pass to Looney. Freak with it. Pass to Looney. Stolen by Evans. Goodman in at the 3. Free out there with Fresh, and it's Roberts in at the 5 spot. And here's Decker. It's Hill on the wing. Shot to stop the drought. And it's Freak with the rebound.
This game's still very much up in the air. I mean, this is where you start to separate the men from the boys and where heroes are born.
And one team looking to ice the win, the other hoping to force OT. I think right now you lean on your stars and get the ball to Freak every chance you get to try and come away here with the title.
Now Hawkins following the three-point attempt by Freak. Got a piece of it. And stolen by Freak to the wing right side. Knocked loose. Now Hill to tie it up. And he sinks the layup. And that will tie this game up.
I mean, you never expect to get opportunities that easy coming down the stretch of a tight game.
They're starting to feel it from deep. Let's tighten up our pressure on the perimeter and make those looks.
And the Bruins go here with a whole new group out there. The Badgers making a switch here.
Side to get there.
The Bruins leading by 4. Here's Free. Passes it to Looney. Releases from 15. That one is good again. He's 6 straight from the floor with the basket.
And what a journey it has been, really, for this whole team to make it to the college championship, especially for Freak. A few bumps in the road for him, but what a story.
Craig, you get the feeling that it's only the beginning. I mean, the way he plays and the accolades he has, I mean, you can see him having a long and productive career at the pro level.
Evans outside. He feeds it to Hill. He kicks it to Decker. Hill passes to Hawkins. He dishes it to Decker. Shot clock at 6. Wade misses. And an intentional foul right there. And they are in the driver's seat.
Yes, they are. If they come away with points on this trip, Katie bar the door.
And now we've got the intentional foul.
Two shots.
And no problem there in the first free throw. 1-1 situation, so he'll get another. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's an 8-point game. And the Badgers with possession here. And Fisher kicks to Conley. The dish now to Fisher. There's the triple. And it's Freak with the rebound.
And that's not the best of shot selection there. The defense definitely won that possession.
Yeah, I think in that case, you've got to go elsewhere with the ball. You just can't rise up over the top of him when he's on you.
Just look at how quickly the lead has grown here over the last few possessions.
Clear case here, partner, of saving their best for last. Quite a run.
So it's UCLA picking up the win. Such a special moment for these kids. All the hard work they put in, all the pressure, Greg, they've been under all tournament long. This is pure elation.
Hello?
Hey, Ma, it's me.
Hey, Frequency.
I got you on speakerphone.
Okay, your sister there?
Hey, Mama, I'm right here.
Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm fine.
Yvette's here too, Mama.
Hi, Mama. How you doing? I'm fine.
Does she have to be here?
Yes. Mr. Pagnotti, the agent I was telling you about, he's in the room too.
How you doing, ma'am?
I'm good. Nice to meet you.
What a pleasure to finally meet the queen mother of this young, talented man, even if...
We met working at the post office together. Mark was...
Good evening and welcome to the NBA Draft. With the first pick in the NBA Draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves select
Karl Anthony Towns from the University of Kentucky.
With the second pick in the NBA Draft, the Los Angeles Lakers select
D'Angelo Russell
from The Ohio State University. With the third pick in the NBA Draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select
Jahlil Okafor from Duke University.
With the fourth pick in the NBA Draft, the New York Knicks select
Kristaps Porzingis
from Latvia. With the fifth pick in the NBA Draft, the Orlando Magic select
Mario Hezonja from Dubrovnik, Croatia.
With the sixth pick in the NBA Draft, the Sacramento Kings select
Willie Cauley-Stein from the University of Kentucky.
With the seventh pick in the NBA Draft, the Denver Nuggets select
Emmanuel Mudiay
from Dallas, Texas. With the eighth pick in the NBA Draft, the Detroit Pistons select
Stanley Johnson from the University of Arizona.
With the ninth pick in the NBA Draft, the Charlotte Hornets select
Frank Kaminsky
from the University of Wisconsin. With the 10th pick in the NBA Draft, the Miami Heat select
Justice Winslow from Duke University.
With the 11th pick in the NBA Draft, the Indiana Pacers select
Miles Turner from the University of Texas.
With the 12th pick in the NBA Draft, the Utah Jazz select
Trey Lyles from the University of Kentucky.
With the 13th pick in the NBA Draft, the Phoenix Suns select
Devin Booker from the University of Kentucky.
With the 14th pick in the NBA Draft, the Oklahoma City Thunder select
Cameron Payne.
With the 15th pick in the NBA Draft, the Atlanta Hawks select Maurice Goodman from UCLA.
Let's do this, young man.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Frequency Vibration.
Siamo fragili se tutti ci toccano. Siamo
All right. You all know why we're here and what we came to do this year. This is only the beginning of a very long season, but Game 1 means just as much as Game 82. Now, we have some new faces here that I really expect to make an impact for us this season. We've already seen flashes of what they can do for us, but I expect all of you to go out there and execute just like we did in camp. Ain't no more excuses. It's time to get serious. If we play our brand of basketball, there's no telling where this team can go. So get out there, get warm, and let's go win this game.
To be honest, I'm a little bit nervous. But I know this is where I belong. So I just gotta get out there and do what I was born to do. I hope I can make my family proud.
Starting at small forward, 6 feet 7 inches, number 25, Tavo Sapolosha. At guard, 6'7" from Creighton, number 26, Kyle Korver. At the point, 6 feet 1 inches, number 17.
Well, we can finally say it. The NBA regular season is about to get underway. And here at 2K Sports, we couldn't be happier. Of a lifelong dream, a special individual taking to the hardwood as we'll get to watch the first official NBA appearance from Goodman.
Yeah, and whether he has friends and family in the crowd tonight or watching at home, I know a lot of people are proud of this young man. He's worked so hard to achieve this goal.
Yeah, and the future's bright for him, Greg. Not just tonight and not just this season, but for years to come.
And Detroit, looking at who they've got. Jackson is out there with Jody Meeks. Then there's Andre Drummond. Then it's Marcus Morris. And it's Johnson in at the small forward position. Well, you have to love the energy and the effort given every night by Kent Bazemore hustling for loose balls. Greg, a lot like he actually runs the floor like a tornado, can handle the ball, the consummate role player.
He really is. And you know, you have to have guys who can be effective without the basketball, Kevin. There's only one out there. Right. You're going to have 5 guys, so you need other areas of the game to be effective. And he focuses on the defense, the rebound, and all those little things that add up to victories.
The Hawks making a switch here. Scott's checked in, and Detroit with a change here, too. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Drummond. On defense, Atlanta leading by 5. Johnson the screen. Meeks, good.
And, you know, going back to Kent Bazemore, he was not a 5-star recruit coming out of high school. Was solid and unspectacular in college. Entered the NBA as an undrafted free agent. Exceeded everybody's expectations.
Wow, what a pass there. He made that a very easy basket with that setup.
This is to Meeks. Takes the 3. Bazemore grabs the miss.
And getting back to Kent Bazemore, I mean, he will always have a role in this league because of his defense and his positive attitude. He's the kind of guy.
Oh, and what a feeling it's got to be as we get to see the very first NBA bucket from Goodman.
Yeah, and, you know, he can relax a little bit now. That first one is in the books. It won't be the biggest bucket he makes in his life, but, man, it may be the most memorable.
I think you may be right about that. No matter how many thousands of them he winds up with, he'll never forget that first one.
Meeks, good.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
Morris against Scott. 30 seconds left in the first quarter. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Splitter's got his second basket.
I can't believe defenders are not aware. They cannot allow him that position.
Yeah, you're right about that, Greg. He's put a no trespassing allowed on that spot of the floor. It's all his.
And stolen by Scott. Oh, and a fast break for Atlanta. Teague's got the ball, and he gets it to go. Bazemore's got his first 2 points of the night.
Oh, terrific way to finish that move there, going to the basket.
Here's Jackson, and he didn't get quite enough under that one. The scoring fast and furious as we end the first quarter. The Hawks on. Well, earlier we sat down with Freak and asked him about playing in his first NBA game.
You know, I've thought about this moment my entire life. Now that it's finally here, the feeling's pretty crazy. But I know it's just the beginning. I got a lot of hard work ahead of me to get to where I want to go, to be the best player and the best teammate I can be. But this is an exciting first step, no doubt.
You know, Clark, you don't see that kind of perspective from most rookies, do you?
You really don't, Kevin. I mean, I really like his approach.
And the Hawks with a completely new group on the floor. And a different look here for the Pistons. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Drummond. Morris comes in for Anthony Tolliver. Johnson, he's checked in for Harris. And it's Jody Meeks in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. On the floor for Detroit, we've got Aaron Baines. Johnson is out there with Marcus Morris. Then there's Reggie Jackson. And it's Meeks in at the 2-guard. Pistons trail by 5.
You know, not many saw it coming last season with the Hawks. I mean, they just ran away with the Eastern Conference. It was the first time they took the East since 1994.
Teague left side. And a wide open look for Freak. Off target from three-point range. The Pistons have gone 5 of 12 from the field here in the second. And Meeks kicks to Jackson. .133 left to play in the first half. Jackson missing again.
You know, he just hasn't looked right to me. A bit out of sorts, if you will. Something's off with his mechanics, at least as I look at it.
Teague against Jackson. And Teague, here we go. And the layup's good off the glass. And the Hawks lead by 7. Detroit's gone 2 for 5 from three-point land since the end of the first. Teague against Jackson. Pass to Morris. Outside, Meeks. Good. Meeks got 8.
They are absolutely stroking it from outside. I mean, textbook perfect. Good balance, nice high release, splash.
Morris against Humphries. 40 seconds left here in the second. Pass to Splitter. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Just 5 on the clock. Goes up at the stripe And it's blocked. And as it goes out of bounds, Atlanta able to keep the ball here for the Hawks. Scotty's checked in for Humphries. And it's Korver in for Freak. And so it's a close game as we wrap up the first half of basketball. Hawks lead by 3. 2K Sports, back in a moment.
And now,
And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first half. Third quarter starting here now. And the Hawks will go for a different look here. Chris Humphries has checked in for Horford. Mike Scott comes in for Cephalosha. Freak's checked in for Kyle Korver. And it's Teague for Dennis Schroeder. Marcus Morris is checked in for the Pistons. Jody Meeks comes in for Caldwell Pope. Goodman in at shooting guard. Scott is out there with Paul Millsap. Then it's Chris Humphries. And it's Teague in at the guard position. So that's the Hawks 5. And that's an intentional foul.
they're over the limit. That's his 4th personal foul. At the line for the Hawks, Tobias Harris. At the line for 2.
First free throw is good, and that makes it a 7-point lead. The Atlanta making some changes. And so the Pistons take the win. And in the win, a comfortable win in what?
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Many thanks, Kevin. So now we move on to our Jordan player of the game, Reggie Jackson.
Listen up, everybody. Reggie Jackson, he can bring it. He's got a lot of skills. He can pass.
And that's it for our broadcast here tonight. But we're just getting started on a new season in the NBA. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. We'll see you again soon.
Coming home, New York City, baby. I'll be honest, I'm pretty excited. Mama, Pop, and Cece, yeah, they're gonna be there. Playing in front of them in the NBA uniform for the first time is gonna be a special moment for me. Now I know all of Harlem's gonna be watching. No pressure, right? It's all good though. I've been waiting for this my entire life. And I'll be ready.
Live from New York, 2K Sports proudly brings you Knicks basketball. Looking at the last game for the New York Knicks, it was a win against the Bucks in Milwaukee. And there wasn't much question as to how that game was going to turn out. They absolutely put the hammer down on them.
You know, sometimes you're going to win because of your...
First quarter of play, we're about 3 minutes in. Last season, Atlanta showed just how much fun a team can have playing team basketball, complete team effort. We use that word a lot. You don't see it much in the NBA, but boy, they epitomized it, Clark.
Yeah, they sure did. Refreshing to see a team do that well collectively without a real superstar. Just a solid group that understood their roles and played them perfectly.
Calderon kicks to Williams, and it's sent back by Horford. Schroeder with the ball. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. And there's Horford. That's good on the assist by Freak.
And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, I mean, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation.
Outside Anthony. Goes up to the stripe. Rebound by the Hawks. This game coming after a loss against the Pistons.
And really, they just shot their average from the free throw line in that game. I think that probably changes the outcome.
No doubt. I mean, because there is a carryover effect when you're not having success at the line.
And Paul Millsap, guys, the only player to lead the NCAA in rebounding 3 straight seasons back in college. A former second-round pick, was kind of slept on, but now clearly making his mark in the NBA.
Ties it up, and this next one could give them the lead. Greg, you were talking about Millsap's ferocious rebounding. He battles inside, but Clark, he is so skilled.
Yeah, he's just really a good all-around basketball player. He can pass, handle, step out, and hit the three. Very, very versatile. He makes an impact on the game a lot of ways.
Calderon kicks to Thomas. 1:41 left to play in the first quarter. 5 on the clock. Here's Roten. New York, no good that time either. Atlanta's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. And unable there to get the go-ahead bucket.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
Calderon kicks to O'Quinn. New York, no good that time either. Hawks shooting a mere 25% from the floor in this first quarter. And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Kevin, I had a chance to talk with head coach Kurt Rambis. We talked about the keys to this game, and he singled out Paul Millsap as a player they've simply got to be mindful of. Coach told me he's always been an energy guy, someone you have to locate and box out every possession. But he's developed his offensive game to the point where he's more than just a hustle guy. He's also a scoring threat now, and a guy we can't leave open. They'll be watching him, Kevin.
Always great to hear from you, Doris.
Rebounding's going to be the focal point for them in this one, fellas. I can feel it.
It always is, and it has been so far, and they've gotten a nice edge on the glass.
Roten, no good. The Hawks leading. Shot and game clock separated by 5. Bazemore, it's good, and he makes his first shot of the game.
He's just too quick for his man. Left him in the rearview mirror and knocked it down.
Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin.
Now here's Roten. He's guarded by Goodman. Picked by Williams. Hit his foot. And the officials saying it was kicked. Here's Porzingis. That's good. And it's Thomas picking up the assist.
Couldn't run the inbound play any better than right there.
At the end of one, a closely contested game so far. And a chance to hear from former number 2 overall pick Derek Williams about his focus offensively. Two huge improvements for him. Greg, can he do more?
Definitely. He's already taken a big leap forward.
Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Lopez. Lance Thomas comes in for Porzingis. Williams, he's checked in for Carmelo Anthony. And it's Calderon in for Roten. On the court for Atlanta, Goodman, he's in at shooting guard. Kent Bazemore is out there with Paul Millsap. And it's Splitter, and it's Teague in at the 1.
I mean, the Knicks were bad last year, and it became evident early on. As the season grew older, more and more of their national coverage games were being pulled.
And just over 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. Bazemore passes to Splitter. Teague left side. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Here's Goodman. The 17-footer goes down. Freak's got his first basket.
Well, here in the second, not as listless. They're showing some signs of life offensively.
You know, steadying themselves. After a tough start, they're back on track.
Calderon kicks to Aflalo. Off the mark there with the three-point shot.
They've done their part here to run down a lot of missed shots. A solid rebounding effort.
Yeah, energy has been the difference, and they're fighting for every loose ball and giving as good as they get on the inside.
Splitter, that's good.
There it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great position inside.
Yeah, just getting the ball into the post has to be option number 1 for them right now.
From deep, Aflalo. That doesn't go either for Aflalo.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
Teague can't hit.
And we haven't seen them be quite as aggressive driving the basketball, settling far too much for jumpers.
Yeah, that's a good observation on your part, Greg. Fewer free throw attempts for them this quarter. And the danger is they can't afford to get too comfortable out there because they've got the lead. Otherwise, it might start to get away from them.
51 seconds left in the first half of the game. Now, here's Calderon. A 14-point game for him in the win against Milwaukee.
Yeah, and he also did a great job on the backboards, Kev, and that also was a factor. Yeah, I love the communication and the chemistry between those teammates.
Splitter kicks to Teague. Passes it to Goodman. Shoots from 14, and that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Freak's got the lead up to 9 now for Atlanta. About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. Aflalo dishes to Calderon. And he banks in the layup. Calderon's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Clearly, he's one of the best there is in the business when it comes to making that lead pass.
In the corner, it's Freak. Back to Teague. Pass to Millsap. Shoots it up. And again, it's Atlanta.
Nice pass that time. What excellent vision by Jeff Teague out there.
And that does it for the first half of play. Now the second half about to start up and begin any moment. Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Lopez. Thomas comes in for Porzingis. Derek Williams, he checked in for Carmelo Anthony. And it's Tony Roten in for Aaron Aflalo. Thomas is out there with Williams. Then it's Tony Roten. Then there's Calderon. And it's O'Quinn in at the center filling out the middle. That's the 5 for New York right now. And it's Teague, that time on the assist by Freak. 7 points for Jeff Teague.
I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen throughout, just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively turning into quick points.
And that can't continue. I mean, if they hope to get back in this game, I mean, it's really deflating from a morale standpoint. They need stops and points, not turnovers.
Well, and for Coach Budenholzer, Greg, he did spend 19 years with the Spurs, so it makes a lot of sense. Clarkie won 4 titles during his time there in San Antonio.
And, Kevin, you can really see how he's adapted and brought the motion offense over to this team, and it's worked well for the Hawks.
Robin Lopez is checked in for the Knicks. He doesn't get the second one.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And what I like about it, Greg, it's been a physical brand of basketball. It's had a little sandpaper element to it. Gritty and rough, but that's how you win games.
And the one thing Tiago Splitter gives you every year, Clark, is consistency. The numbers, the effort, the results, all very familiar every year.
Yeah, his game is really built on the intangibles. He hustles. He knows where he's supposed to be. He gets to the right spot at the right time, crashes the boards, takes charges.
Take a break.
He does all the little stuff.
2 shots.
And the first one drops.
And for Tiago Splitter, he's been a relatively unsung player in his career, never getting his number called on offense, receiving little recognition from the media, but providing tough defense in the post. He shot over 55%, crashes the boards in the 20 minutes or so a game that he gets. So that's been good enough to really establish a productive career.
You know, getting back to Splitter, yes, you need superstars to win in this league, but you also need guys like him, guys who put the team first, will bust the gut to carry out their responsibilities on the floor, off the court, and in the locker room. You need all of that to be a championship team.
Teague against Calderon. It's tipped, taken away by Williams. Now Roten, 6 points for him. Outside Williams, inside, here's Lopez, and off the front iron, and in it goes.
That is some real serious dime dropping there. Exquisite assist.
And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. It's Atlanta up by 12. And when we return, we'll get the fourth quarter rolling right here on 2K Sports. And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. It's making a switch here. Williams is checked in. Freaks checked in for the Hawks. Teague comes in for Dennis Schroeder. And so in the game for the Hawks, Teague and Korver are the guards. Millsap at power forward with Horford at the center. And it's Goodman in at the 3, the small forward.
I like the recognition of the mismatch there, immediately making the defense pay.
Power down with both hands.
Fellas, that two-hand monster slam was vicious.
I don't think there was anyone, and I mean anyone, that could have stopped him on that one.
I tell you what, I'm glad they didn't try, because somebody might have got their feelings hurt.
Here's Anthony, and so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. Carmelo Anthony, the 3rd pick overall in the 2003 NBA draft, was in some pretty good company at the top of that one, as I recall.
I mean, you had LeBron going 1, and of course, Darko Milicic was number 2 on that list. But how about D-Wade at 4? A little bit of a surprise. Chris Bosh, all those guys, with the exception of Melo, have rings.
Aaron Aflalo, he's checked in for the Knicks. Calderon comes in for Roten. And Anthony drops them both.
And back to Melo's top 5 draft mates in 2003, all having rings. You can't choose the team you play for as a rookie. Melo simply hasn't been surrounded by that much talent. That's why it was somewhat surprising that he re-signed with the rebuilding Knicks team last season.
But that would have been lucky had it fallen for shot selection.
Yeah, look at the coach's face and the expression. It says all over it. Are you kidding me?
Calderon passes to Aflalo. So he gets the whistle, contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
Hey, guys, talking about Melo, I mean, he's faced some difficult injuries here of late. That puts all the more pressure on him to win a ring as soon as possible. No way does he want to retire without that chance.
Williams, he's checked in for New York. Thomas comes in for Carmelo Anthony. Splitter's checked in for the Hawks. Mike Scott comes in for Paul Millsap. And so it's Atlanta with it. Korver kicks to Teague. Down low, here's Scott. Second chance shot. And as it goes out of bounds, Atlanta able to keep the ball here. Robin Lopez is checked in for Porzingis.
Robin Lopez.
There's 31 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Here's Goodman. But they get it back. Korver dishes to Splitter. And he goes in for the dunk.
And they've just done a great job of keeping this crowd out of the game. And we're getting closer to victory. The crowd's getting quieter.
And there's not a whole lot for them to be cheering about anymore.
If we can't get the ball in, we have another timeout. Use it if you need it.
Here's Lopez. Out of bounds, Atlanta will take possession.
A temporary lapse of focus from him on that turnover. It's embarrassing, but on occasion it does happen.
.20 seconds left in the fourth. Teague, the pass to Goodman. Shoots a three. No luck. Great D that time from Thomas. Here's Galloway. Off target. And so Atlanta takes this one by a big margin. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time, GA, this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crunch time. Don't give them any chance to lift their team up at the finish.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for tuning in. And now time to go to Ernie Johnson, who's alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Kevin, much appreciated, and now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Kyle Korver.
I'll give it to Kyle Korver. When he's shooting the basketball like this, he can blow a game wide open. There's not many guys that's ever, not in the league now, but ever played the game that could shoot like he can.
I love the contribution he gave with his long-range shooting tonight. He was on fire. That turned out to be the big key for them. If someone drove the lane and the defense collapsed, they would always kick it to him for another three. Splaka Katayow!
And that wraps things up, folks. Thanks for joining us. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the rest of the 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. Good night, everybody.
tell you about Vic. He has his bad rap. It's not, and I understand some of his judgments might shadow his actual character. He's not that at all. Man, Vic, let me tell you something. We actually, we have love for each other. We're brothers. Blood couldn't make us any closer at all. I mean, he has so much loyalty to me and to my family. You can see even Cece, has issues with him, but he still loves her. He still loves her.
Nah, yo, look towards the light. Yo, what the? Yo, what is that? It's a supernova. Nah, man, that's a black hole. Yo.
We got Kevin Durant up next. And you know he'll come to play. I love his versatility, but that makes shutting him down next to impossible. Coach gave us a full breakdown of what to expect, and we watched plenty of film. But sometimes you just gotta throw all that out the window and settle things on the court. And I'm ready. Bring it, KD.
Live from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, 2K Sports proudly brings you the Thunder at the peak at the Chesapeake Energy Arena. Well, for the Oklahoma City Thunder, they won their last contest, that game against the Grizzlies in Memphis. And just one look at the score tells you all you need to know. They were dominant in just about every area.
And you know what? Exactly what had to be done in terms of winning.
Dion Waiters comes in for Andre Robertson. And it's Payne in for Russell Westbrook. And then for Atlanta, Freaks checked in for Kent Bazemore. Tim Hardaway Jr. comes in for Kyle Korver. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Jeff Teague. On the court for Atlanta, Millsap at power forward with Horford at the center. Tim Hardaway Jr. out there with Dennis Schroeder. And it's Goodman in at the small forward.
And the Thunder had plenty of reason to be down last year because of the injuries. A big place that it hit them was on offense. They just were not the same absent mainly Kevin Durant.
Now here's Durant. He's guarded by Goodman. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. Kiwi Steven Adams, one of the toughest players down on the block.
And Kevin Adams is not afraid to get under somebody's skin. He's pretty strong defensively, too.
Steven Adams.
And, you know, guys, that's one of the things I like about Adams. I mean, he'll draw the ire of opposing players just because of how he approaches the game. Yeah, and guys, Adams doesn't want to be known as a dirty player. I think he feels he plays aggressive and he hustles, and that sometimes rubs players the wrong way.
Nick Collison's checked in for Serge Ibaka. And then for Atlanta, Humphreys comes in for Al Horford. And Mike Scott subbed in for Paul Millsap. He's perfect from the line this time. Certainly the biggest surprise last year, Clark, was the play of the Atlanta Hawks. Few would have picked them to win the East at the start of the season.
Well, they did it, and they earned it. The Hawks didn't have any superstars on their roster, but they won with solid team play.
Just 5 to shoot. It's Freak, top of the key. He sticks that one in from 20 feet away. Freak's got his first bucket of the night.
They've got themselves in front with some outstanding shooting right off the bat.
It's been a complete technical, dominant performance out here. They are in a zone.
Durant just inside the line, and he comes off the screen to bury the jump shot.
And for the Hawks, they did end up with 4 All-Stars last season. And as you said, it was all about how they worked together as a team.
Here's Goodman. No good from outside. Thunder trailing by 4, and even 3-on-3 break. Durant, the pass to Waiters. The basket good off the assist from Durant.
And, you know, around the NBA, the league recognized the Hawks were a complete team. Everybody played their role superbly. The NBA named all 5 of their starters the player of the week last year in an unprecedented move.
Scott kicks to Freak. Lets it go from 14. Payne grabs the board. Looking at the last game for the Atlanta Hawks, it was a loss to Dallas.
And you don't have to go too deep into the box score to figure out why they lost that one. They just had an inability on that day to make shots.
You know, sometimes we talk about a defense getting into the heads of the opposing players, Greg, but that night they got up in their own heads. Just got in their own way and couldn't get out of it.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact that the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
Here's Durant, and he gets it to go. Durant's got 6 points.
And if you're the guy who has to guard him, it is never going to be an easy night for you.
Here's Schroeder, and released it in time, but it's off the mark. And that concludes a back-and-forth, high-scoring first quarter of play. Hawks lead by 3. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. And here's Freak on his experience as a one-and-done college player. Now with more and more freshmen, Clark, making the jump to the pros, we can expect to hear more stories like this, I'm sure.
Well, without question, Kevin, that's the case in the landscape that we find.
Look for Oklahoma City. Adams, he's checked in for Enes Kanter. Durant comes in for Dion Waiters. And it's Payne in for Roberson. And the Hawks will go for a different look here. Mike Scott's checked in for Horford. Freak comes in for Kent Bazemore. Hardaway's checked in for Kyle Korver. And Dennis Schroeder's subbed in for T. On the court for Atlanta, Goodman. He's in at 3. Paul Millsap out there with Mike Scott. Then there's Hardaway. Lot of ferocious dunkers in the NBA, but what could you say about Westbrook as maybe the top dunker right now on that list?
Well, the ferocity, the tenacity. I mean, he's almost angry when he takes it to the basket the way he does. I think that's part of what makes him so special.
And, you know, with Westbrook, it fits right in with how he plays. I mean, he is relentless when he goes at the rim and takes out any contact he felt on the way to get there.
Nick Collison's checked in for the Thunder. And a switch here also for Atlanta. Humphreys checked in.
Move the ball. Stick it too much.
Schroeder with the ball. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Kicks it to Freak. Takes a 3. It's hauled in by Adams.
And one last note, guys, about Westbrook. He dunks on purpose. I mean, last season he said that he dunked so hard to discourage any defender from blocking his shot or even contesting him.
Now here's Payne. Defense right on him. And the foul called on Tim Hardaway Jr. That is his first foul of the game. 1:46 left to play here in the half. Durant with it, out defended by Freak. Shot clock at 6. Here's Adams. The basket good off the assist from Durant. Durant's got his 3rd assist on the night.
He always knows where his teammate's going to be, and Kevin, that will let him put the ball where he wants it, right waiting for him.
And he's really having all sorts of problems with his jumper right now.
Yeah, big time. I mean, the words that come to mind, ice and cold and disappearing stroke, all would apply.
Oklahoma City moving the ball around. And here's Westbrook from the arc. That's good. Westbrook's got 13.
You know, he's putting on an outstanding offensive display, and he may just be getting warmed up here.
Now here's Schroeder. He's covered by Westbrook. Schroeder passes to Scott. 6 on the shot clock. Freak kicks to Humphries. And he can't stop the run as he misses.
You love the closeout on that possession.
Excellent defense, active, and he made it a very tough shot for him.
And Adams with the slam.
A nice run they put together here to bring it a little closer.
Yeah, they got hot, and I didn't think I'd be saying this a little while ago, but now this game's up for grabs.
Scott with a screen on Westbrook. Schroeder kicks to Humphries. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
Exactly. The defense determined not to allow the easy layup right there. They'll settle for making him earn the free throws.
The Hawks shooting their 6th and 7th free throws in the game. That's good from Humphries.
This is exactly what you need to do with the lead. Just knock down your free throws. When you get fouled, knock them down.
And good on the second, so he makes them both.
Boy, I tell you what, he does not look like your typical big man up there at the line. He has an excellent stroke and a percentage to match.
Now here's Durant. He's covered by Goodman. It's Durant with the drive. That's good. Durant's got 10.
Well, I tell you what, the defenders didn't even get a sniff of him on that move to the hoop.
And we're through the...
Well, Kevin, obviously...
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. Adams, he's checked in for Enes Kanter. Dion Waiters comes in for Kevin Durant. And it's Payne in for Russell Westbrook. Then for the Hawks, Scotty's checked in for Horford. Freak comes in for Kyle Korver. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Jeff Teague. The rugged duo of Ibaka and Adams in the middle. Payne out there with Andre Robertson. And it's Waiters in at the 3 spot. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. And it's out of bounds to the Thunder as Oklahoma City retains possession. Chris Humphries has checked in for the Hawks. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Millsap.
And with a quick break in the action, here's some numbers for Robertson. He's getting around 8 points a game, just over 2 steals, and 5 rebounds. And you look at his gaudy steal numbers, defensively, he makes his presence felt on every possession.
And you know what I like about it, Greg, is he gets great position, then uses those quick, strong mitts of his to rip the ball out of there.
And guys, you got to love the front court for these Atlanta Hawks. I mean, Al Horford and Paul Millsap both give up a few inches in terms of height, but you won't find a more skilled and versatile front court in the NBA.
Now here's Payne, guarded closely. Here's Ibaka. Another shot, and it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
You can see where the Hawks rank in the league stats over the last 10 games. 3rd in fewest turnovers per game. 9th in assists. And they're a top 10 team in three-point shooting.
They don't make many mistakes. I just love the mental toughness. You saw 3rd fewest turnovers per game. Great decision-making is so valuable, particularly down the stretch. Definitely a notch in their favor.
And he can't get the first one. Well, you look at the roster of the Thunder from last year, Clark, they knew how to build from within.
Well, last season's roster, everybody but one player was either drafted or acquired via trade. That's a rare combo in the NBA.
And Oklahoma City making a change here. Collison's out there, and a change for the Hawks. Hardaway's checked in for Paul Millsap. No good on the second free throw.
And guys, for the Thunder, listen, they're not a big market team. They've had to make sacrifices with money to stay competitive. They do a terrific job with the limitations that small market presents.
Payne kicks to Collison.
And, you know, as we've seen, success in the NBA can come in a lot of different packages. I mean, it can't happen without the big free agent signing or spending. It helps to draft a guy like Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, for that matter.
2 shots. 2 shots.
They throw good, Adams.
The Hawks were fantastic last season. After the All-Star break, they did slip up a bit, struggled against teams over 500.
Russell Westbrook's checked in for Payne. And so Adams nails both of them. They lost the last 3 games of the regular season, Clark, and really just limped into the playoffs. Some of it might have just been fatigue.
Yeah, it could have been, and their play at the end of the season did leak into the playoffs, Kevin. I mean, you could see very quickly that they weren't the same team that looked so dominant during the regular season.
In the corner, it's Westbrook all alone. Misses off the left iron.
It's been a real difficult game for him offensively, and it's costly.
Schroeder kicks to Humphries. The feed to Freak. Puts up a 3. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Roberson's got his 4th rebound in this one. He dishes it to Westbrook. And with that one, the lead is trimmed to single digits. Westbrook's got 15.
I mean, he was great in his last game, Clark, and clearly he has not lost that love and feel.
Pass to Schroeder. He feeds it to Scott. Banked in off the glass. He's got 5.
Great job of screening there. Nice job to take it to the rim and get the finish.
Here's Waiters. And the 3 off target. Atlanta leading by 10. And here's Schroeder. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. He kicks it to Freak with 4 seconds on the clock. Jump shot is good.
Dennis Schroeder.
Westbrook.
Oh! How about that, Kevin?
What range on that shot. Unbelievable. It's amazing. The points coming in bunches as we wrap up the 3rd quarter. It's been a good one. Hawks lead by 9. And we're just moments away from the start of the 4th quarter. Stay with us. Well, welcome back as we get set to start the 4th. He's checked in for Kent. Atlanta also making some changes here. Freak comes in for Kent Bazemore. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Jeff Teague. On the court for Atlanta, Millsap at power forward with Horford at the center. Kyle Korver's out there with Dennis Schroeder. And it's Goodman in at the 3.
That was massive.
You know it. He's stepping right into the spotlight there.
They can't guard us on the perimeter. Let's spread the floor and isolate up top. Spacing, fellas. Spacing.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Well, over the break, I listened in on Billy Donovan's huddle. He told his squad, listen, guys, it's close. It's about execution here. If we do that, I like our chances. No hero ball, just trust each other and make the simple play. Kevin?
It's in!
Really aggressive play there, taking it to the rack against the big fella.
You know, Greg, aggressiveness is really the only option when you're on the wrong side of the size equation.
We got time. Don't rush up. Get the best look.
Here's Roberson, guarded by Korver. Money! And he has brought them to within 2 points.
So tough to stop Westbrook right now.
There's 21 seconds left in the game. And they foul intentionally. They're going to have to do that now again and again. They're not in the penalty yet.
That's right. No other option but to foul and hope for some misses.
Yeah, they have to extend the game. I mean, plain and simple. Use every second you can on the clock here.
And they go to the intentional foul.
That's his second personal foul.
He drops the first one, and that makes it a 3-point lead. And so he drops them both. It's a 4-point ball game.
And those free throws will mean a ton now. It makes it a 2-possession game.
Down low, Durant dishes to Westbrook. Here's Roberson. Ibaka, the pass to Adams. Here's Roberson. Yes! And that shot brings them to within just 1. They're going to prolong the game here with an intentional foul.
That's his third personal foul. Shooting Oklahoma City. Kyle Korver. 2 shots.
And the first of 2, no good, heartbreaking. And the second of 2 is good. That will put them up by 2. Westbrook. Oh, the all-or-nothing shot, no good. And so the big win by it.
Well, Paul can...
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Thanks, Kevin, and let's take a look now as we give the nod to our Jordan Player of the Game. He notched his season high, and his scoring really seemed to set the tempo for his team tonight.
I can't imagine a player having a better night from the field than he had tonight. His shooting percentage was off the charts. He used every trick in the book to get those high percentage shots. He shot from every direction, and there was a little bit of luck here and there, but he was on fire.
Well, he certainly pulled his weight in the rebound department. His energy and his positioning were fantastic. Forget about everything else he did. His work on the glass alone had a big impact tonight.
And folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure. For Kenny the Jet Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a great night.
The only color I care about is green.
Mr. Dom Pag.
We got James Harden and that beard of his. Look, this guy's relentless. We know he's gonna attack the basket all night long, so I'm gonna make it my personal mission to keep that from happening. As long as we keep jumping those passing lanes, we can give them a run for their money. I know I'll be ready.
Welcome and happy holidays from 2K Sports. It's time for NBA action. Along with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. Last outing for Atlanta unsuccessful. The loss to the Indiana Pacers.
Just looking at the stat sheet, they gave far too many free throws away in that game. Maybe it was the noise in the building or something, but they really looked rattled.
Well, Greg, I don't know.
And Corey Brewers subbed in for Trevor Ariza. And the Hawks will go for a different look here. Splitters checked in for Horford. Scott comes in for Kent Bazemore. Freaks checked in for Kyle Korver. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Jeff Teague. And so in the game for the Hawks, Goodman in at shooting guard. Splitter is out there with Mike Scott. Then there's Dennis Schroeder, and it's Millsap in at the small forward.
Easy to see who's going to win that race.
Yeah, early offense is often easy offense. Excellent work that time.
After a rookie season in which he really struggled, Dennis Schroeder made big strides last year.
Yeah, I think pretty much dramatic improvements across the board, Kevin. Really a most improved candidate for sure. He solidified that reserve unit for the Hawks, in my opinion. And that's 2 fouls for him very early in this ball game. He'll probably have to spend some time on the bench before halftime.
So for the Rockets, Moniunas is checked in for Howard. And Godlock subbed in for Patrick Beverly. Moniunas dishes to Brewer. Moniunas kicks to Harden. Harden draws the double. Clock at 6. Wide open. Brewer's shot is off.
Nobody even close to him, and he can't believe he doesn't knock it down.
Now here's Schroeder. He's guarded closely. He kicks to Scott. Millsap left side. And that one's on target from the wing. Millsap's got 6.
Man, he's having quite the quarter, converting at a really high percentage.
Harden outside. Dishes it to Moniunas. They double him with Freak. Brewer passes to Moniunas. And some nice passing there by Houston. Here's Godlock. Will not go. This is off the front iron. The Hawks trailing. Here's Freak. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Schroeder kicks to Freak. Puts it up from 15. Here's Splitter. It's good. This game is all even. Splitter's got his first 2 points.
Another bucket in the paint. That's something they just have not been able to stop today.
Yeah, the defense is all about disrupting timing and spacing, and what they've got going right now is not getting it done.
Now here's Schroeder. He's coming off a 13-point game against Indiana. And it's Freak missing.
Not really sure what he was thinking about on that shot. That is not high IQ basketball.
Not at all. I mean, he shouldn't even have considered taking that shot. Just a poor choice there.
Really just a tremendous day for him. And if you remember, he was just as good in their last game.
The first quarter all wrapped up, and it's been an exciting game so far. Houston on top, up by 2. And Dwight Howard, a lightning rod figure around the league, subject to a lot of criticism, but he says he takes comfort in playing the game he still loves. It's an interesting concept that Dwight has to take something very seriously in order to have fun. He does say he has a burning... He's been making some changes. Capella's checked in, and Smith's subbed in for Michael Beasley.
Boy, last year the Rockets dealt with a lot of injuries. I mean, the front court and post players were hit the hardest. I think almost every Rocket big would end up missing some time.
Beverly and Harden, they're the backcourt. Ariza is the small forward and Smith the 4, and it's Capella in at the 5. That's the 5 for Houston right now. And Doris Burke has something for us. Hey, Doris.
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Pacers gave them a huge boost. He ended with 7 points and added 3 rebounds as well. He really was the second unit for his team in a great performance, guys.
All right, Doris. Well, guys, coming off a performance like that has got to have him supremely confident right now.
No doubt. I guarantee he comes into today's game feeling there isn't anything he can't do on the floor right now.
Tell you what, Greg, I think he might be right based on that last game. I'm inclined to agree with him.
James Harden, again. Harden's got 15. And last season, GA, as you were talking about, the injuries for the Rockets did pile up. Dwight Howard was out. Terrence Jones was out. They missed those guys for multiple games.
Yeah, and that hurt him inside. But also, remember, Beverly goes down right before the playoffs. So, in all, the Rockets had 180 missed games on their roster due to injury. Amazing they stayed so resilient and were able to capture that 2 seed.
Pass to Splitter. At the elbow, it's Freak. Shot from 16. And the rebound goes to the Rockets. Defeated by the Pelicans in their last game. They'll try to put that one behind them.
And talk about a team that just never seemed to get into a rhythm offensively. It was just an ugly game to watch.
Yeah, that's an understatement. I mean, they didn't appear to have any kind of cohesiveness in terms of game plan. And they never figured out how to attack the defense in that one.
52 seconds left now here in the second. Now here's Beverly. He's guarded by Schroeder. No good. Nice D from Goodman.
Usually if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
Back to Scott. And Capella sends it back. 3-on-3. Here's Beverly. And it's Freak with the rebound. The Hawks trail by 12. Tries from 16. Good. Freak's got his second bucket of the game to go. Harden outside. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
That's his first personal foul.
He shot well from the line tonight, going 4 for 5.
And, you know, guys, he had a big game at the free throw line in their last outing.
As a matter of fact, a lot of his points came from the stripe. He was feeling it. You know, one thing about getting going at the free throw line like he has this season, it can continue to carry over.
He hits one and misses one, each at the line. Schroeder. And that concludes the first half. Rockets lead by 11. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline.
Well, James...
Hey, guys. All right,
welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway. Josh Smith, he's checked in for Ariza. Brewer comes in for James Harden. And Godlock subbed in for Patrick Beverly. And then for Atlanta, Chris Humphries has checked in for Millsap. Freak comes in for Kyle Korver. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Jeff Teague. On the court for Atlanta, Goodman, he's in at shooting guard. Chris Humphries is out there with Kent Bazemore. Then there's Horford.
Boy, I tell you, last season was a big one for the Hawks and Coach Budenholzer. Their dominant season won him multiple Coach of the Month titles, and eventually he won the Coach of the Year award.
Schroeder with the ball. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Clock at 4. Bazemore for 3. And once again off the mark by Atlanta. It's pretty obvious, I thought, Greg, that Budenholzer was the deserved Coach of the Year. I mean, Steve Kerr, there are a lot of good names you could put in there. But what he's done taking the Hawks to the top of the East, a few saw that coming.
I agree with you. I mean, he has transformed this Hawks team over the past couple of years, has a wonderful team game. You know, obviously a lot of influence coming from Pop when he was with San Antonio, but he is really, I think, redefining how the game of basketball is being played at the pro level.
Here's Godlock. He's guarded by Schroeder. It's rejected by Goodman. Out of bounds. Rockets ball as Houston keeps possession. So for the Rockets, Capella's checked in, and it's Moniunas in for Josh Smith. Atlanta also making some changes here. Splitter's checked in for Horford. And it's Scott in for Chris Humphries. Here's Brewer. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. Brewer's got 7 points.
Uh-oh, a little showboating at the end of that one.
Schroeder passes to Scott. Bazemore dishes to Freak. The shot is off. And the Rockets take it the other way. And this game, the first chance they've had to see Atlanta.
Yeah, and a bit of a revenge game for them as they were swept in the 2-game season series from last year.
And you know, they might not be in the same conference, Greg, but as with any top team, they want to show they can compete with the best teams out of conference, too.
51 seconds left to play here in the third. And not a good shot for him. They can get better looks than that. Rockets leading by 6. Here's Godlock. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Here's Capella. It's stolen by Schroeder.
They have a 2-for-1 situation if they go quick.
Yeah, I don't think they have to rush, though, Greg. Just need to find a good shot this time.
27 seconds left in the third quarter. Here's Godlock. He's guarded by Schroeder. There's a good screen. Beasley with a clean look. From outside, off the mark.
Even though he isn't having the best of games from the floor, it hasn't seemed to hurt him.
Splitter. Great look there, but off target. Godlock. Can't hit. And a great show through 3 quarters as we enter the fourth. Who will carry the day? Rockets ahead. They lead by 4. And we're just moments away from the start of the fourth quarter. Stay with us. We've got a great game on our hands as we welcome you back. The fourth quarter of action getting started. So for the Rockets, Capella's checked in, and it's Beasley in for Trevor Ariza. And a switch here also for Atlanta. Freaks checked in for Dennis Schroeder. Beverly and Harden, they're the backcourt. Beasley out there with Moniunas, and it's Capella in at center. That's the 5 for Houston right now. And it's Houston on the break. Beasley kicks to Harden. Beasley, the pass to Beverly. And that misses. That would have put him up. And so it's Atlanta with it. It's a one-point game. Teague dishes to Freak. Hins the three.
What a bucket at one of the more crucial moments of the game.
How about the cool, collected way in which he delivered it? Clutch.
They are on the ropes, and it is time to put them away. Freak, we're putting it in your hands. Deliver the knockout blow.
Doris Burke has some information for us, Doris.
Hey, Kevin, well, the Rockets coach had some advice for the team over that last break. He wants them to pick it up and really go for it right now, saying, no time like the present, gentlemen. Embrace it. Embrace the spotlight, and let's make it happen. Kevin, let's see what they can do.
Thanks, Doris. And the Rockets making a change here. Ariza's checked in.
Honestly, just doing what they have to in order to get the basketball back.
That's a good foul, though. I like that. I mean, clock management crucial at this time of the game.
He doesn't hit the first, and that was the one they really wanted. He's got one more, though. And he does get the second one, and that will put them up by 2. Now Harden. And it's Ariza in the corner to take the lead. The three won't fall. And there's the call on Patrick Beverly. And so he's picked up his final foul. And he will sit for the rest of this game. Gets the first, and that makes it a 3-point lead. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line. And it's a 4-point ball game.
That ought to do it. I think any chance for a miracle comeback just went out the window with those freebies.
And so it's the Hawks who come out on top. A truly gutsy performance away from home.
You know, it really was. And Kevin, when this one was hanging in the balance late, they showed just what a...
Well, Al, Coach...
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now we get a chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Kyle Korver.
His field goal percentage was excellent, up over 60%. This was a player in total control of his game. He didn't try to do too much. He didn't get reckless, just took what the defense gave him.
Well, he certainly pulled his weight in the rebound department. His energy and his positioning were fantastic. Forget about everything else he did. His work on the glass.
And folks, that'll wrap it up for tonight. We hope you enjoyed the game. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith,
I told you, Dom Pagnotti always delivers. Brand Jordan Freak prototypes. Open the box, check them out.
It's like Christmas and my birthday on the same day. Oh, Dom.
You love them?
I love them.
Hey, they're waiting for your approval for production.
Dynamic duo. Dynamic 동전아 입조차 쉽고 일 없어 잠못들.
It's been a long road trip. Last game is tonight, and I know I want to get out of here with the win. We'll be back in front of the home crowd soon, but now's not the time to be looking ahead. I need to step up my game and help this team get it done. No excuses.
Everyone is in their seats here at the Pepsi Center as the Nuggets look to grab a win here in downtown Denver, Colorado. It's the end of a string of away games for the Hawks as they look forward to returning home after this one. Going up against a capable opponent, but you see their confidence. This one they feel they should win. They'll look to come out strong and show they're the better team.
And if you look at the Hawks right now, they'd probably say they'd expect to be a little higher in the standings at this point, but you can't get too down if you're them. They're still knocking on the door with an opportunity to get that top spot.
You know, they're typically a team that expects to be at the top of the standings, but if not, maybe it'll galvanize them for their playoff push.
Looking at the starting five for the Atlanta Hawks. Millsap at power forward with Horford at the center. Kyle Korver is out there with Dennis Schroeder, and it's Cephalosha in at the 3 spot. Now, here's Moutier. He has a highlight reel unto himself, guys.
Yeah,
wow.
That could very well be a contender for Dunk of the Year and perhaps might make its way all over the internet.
I'll tell you what, that is the crowd pleaser of all crowd pleasers. And Dennis Schroeder out of Germany, his teammates give him a hard time about putting mayonnaise on everything. He eats a turkey burger with mayo before every game. And let me tell you, no need to change because he's settling in just fine.
On the clock, Moutier with the basket. A little over a minute gone here in the first quarter. Here's T. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game. He kicks the splitter. Now here's Moutier. Just under 3.5 minutes gone here in the first quarter.
Room service delivery right there, fellas. Wonderful entry feed.
The Hawks leading by 5. T kicks to Millsap. Here's Goodman, and the 3 ball is good.
Defensively, they just look out of sync, not closing out on the threes in time.
Well, I think they're getting caught in that in-between zone, no man's land, giving up 3 straight from beyond the arc right now.
And here's Moutier, following the 3-pointer by Freak. Gallinari inside the 3-point line, and again it's Denver. For Atlanta, they've gone 6 of 9, shooting it well. Teague dishes to Splitter. Splitter passes to Goodman. We've got 1:48 left to play in the first quarter. The Nuggets trail by 6. Gallinari with it, picked up by Teague. Chandler kicks to Harris. Gallinari against Millsap. 5 on the clock. Here's Moutier. Can't get it to go. Great D that time from T. Fast break here. Here come the Hawks. Outside for Millsap. And that comes off the assist by Jeff T. 13 points for Millsap.
12 straight points off of three-pointers, and the D looks shell-shocked.
And guys, now that they're rolling from out there, the defense has to really get up into them. You got to almost be in their jerseys to try to deny those looks.
He's looking confident right from the opening tip.
So for the Nuggets, their last game, a loss to the Detroit Pistons.
And in that game, guys, their three-point shooting really was their own worst enemy. Even when they got the open looks, they just had an inability to knock them down.
And guys, you've seen it happen to every team. You have to be a threat from beyond the arc nowadays, and if your team goes cold, it really can sabotage your game.
On the foul called on Paul Millsap. That'll be his second foul of the game.
You know what? Tried to step in and cut him off, but just didn't get there quick enough.
Yeah, he was one step late that time, Greg.
And the Nuggets making a change here. Arthur's checked in, and a switch here also for Atlanta. Bazemore's checked in. There's 39 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Harris kicks to Moutier. Not enough on that one as it misses.
You know, he just hasn't looked right to me. A bit out of sorts, if you will. Something's off with his mechanics, at least as I look at it.
The Nuggets trail by 9. Launches a three. And that does it for the first quarter. It's Atlanta. They're up by 9. Transitioning from college to the pros can be a challenge for many players. Here's what Freak had to say about adjusting his game to the NBA. Good points, Clark. What role do coaches play in helping young players like that adjust to the long NBA schedule?
Well, you know, Kevin, they're going to give their teams the best chance to win no matter what the circumstance is. If that means playing young guys extended minutes.
Punch it up. We've got Gallinari. Moutier out there with Will Barton. Then it's Wilson Chandler, and it's Nurkic in at the 5. That's the group on the 4 for Denver. And the Eastern Conference has been fun to watch. A lot of focus as always this year. And as we hit the midseason surge, let's check out the standings and how they're shaping up. Taking a look at Cleveland. They're looking extremely sharp right now, poised in the top spot and playing very well. And checking out Atlanta, 9 games back.
And, you know, right now for Atlanta, most of the preseason predictions were right on the money when it came to them. I mean, a playoff contender, but not necessarily championship caliber.
I would not write them off completely in terms of the title picture just yet. Still a lot of basketball to be played.
That one misses.
Another trip to the stripe for him, and I'll tell you what, a little bit of a different feel here in the second quarter. A little more banging going on.
Man, and it's really served them well. Seeking out the contact you mentioned and putting pressure on the defense.
The Hawks leading by 9. And here in the second quarter of action as we approach 4 minutes played. Here's Schroeder.
And Dennis Schroeder has drawn some comparisons to Rajon Rondo's. Long arms, very quick and athletic. He's awfully tough to keep in front of you, but he's also a guy that can knock down a mid-range jump shot.
First trip to the line for him here. That free throw missing. Laverne, he's checked in for Nurkic. And he can't get the second one to drop either. Coming up empty that time.
Not a typical trip to the line for him there. He had been knocking them down today.
Here's Laverne. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. This Dennis Schroeder, in a lot of ways, like a Greg Anthony, very quick, very smart on the floor, but he's a young player, and he says, Clark, that he watched a lot of tape of Tony Parker to see how he got to the basket.
Yeah, and that's a great blueprint, especially when you consider the Hawks run a very similar system to the Spurs.
Here's Moutier, rejected by Millsap, and they get it back. Here's Laverne. And he tries off the glass, but it's no good. Atlanta leading by 11. Free dishes to Millsap. Splitter with a screen on Chandler. Passes to Good. Uncovered in Atlanta again with the bucket.
They've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
And it's not just their passing, but also the body movement off the ball that's created a lot of those opportunities.
He was all alone on that one. Barton's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. For Atlanta, they've gone 8 of 12 since the start of the second quarter. That's a really high percentage, hitting around 67%. Cephalosha kicks to Splitter. Pass to Freak. Rebounded by Wilson Chandler. The Nuggets trail by 10. Kicks to Moutier. Some nice ball movement by the Nuggets. That's good. Gallinari's got 5 points in the quarter.
Obviously, a mix-up defensively on that possession.
Schroeder passes to Splitter. Here's Goodman. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
No question he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
So far in the game, he's 0 of 2 at the line.
And, of course, we'd all like to see his percentage at the line improve, but he just does not have the touch right now. He's in the 60s.
And, guys, this has not been a season to remember for him at the free throw line, certainly to this point.
And so he hits both. Moutier with the ball. 14 points from him the last game against Detroit.
And also give him credit for his ability to pass the basketball. He was always looking for the open man.
And Laverne kicks to Barton. Off target from outside. Now Schroeder. He averages a bit over 6 points a game. Atlanta again missing.
Good little two-man action there, but they just can't get the shot to fall.
Yeah, but that was a beauty. Good-looking shot, well-executed play. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go back to it.
So we've reached the end of the first half of play. Hawks lead by 10. And don't go away. We'll be back momentarily. The second half beginning in just a moment.
What a performance from Millsap here. He's got 13 points.
On the court for Atlanta, Goodman. He's in at shooting guard. Horford is out there with Humphries. Then there's Teague, and it's Bazemore at the 3. Nurkic can't hit. And Yusuf Nurkic, really a big, good-looking young prospect. He's the guy that took Mozgov's place in Denver.
Yeah, originally Kevin drafted by the Bulls at number 16, then traded to Denver, as you indicated. His sheer size alone, 7 feet 280. That makes him a force on the glass.
Chris Humphries.
And getting back to Nurkic, what makes him an intriguing prospect beyond his size is his exceptional balance. I mean, his excellent footwork makes him really effective in the pick and roll. He also possesses great lateral speed and quick hands for a big man.
Wilson Chandler's checked in for Denver. Splitter's checked in for Atlanta. That's good from Humphries.
And, you know, talking about Nurkic, I mean, his father, a police officer in Bosnia. According to the Denver Nuggets broadcasters last year, Dad is 7 feet tall and weighs a good 400 pounds or more. That's a big police officer there, boy. Well, as far as the league's big men go, he's one of the very best at the foul line.
Pass to Harris. From 12 feet out. Takes it from 10. And Splitter pulls it down.
That's a huge part of what they want to do defensively. Limit his easy chances inside.
Teague with the ball. Now defended by Moutier. Here's Goodman. That's good. And so Teague with the assist. Teague's got 4 assists in the game.
Almost uncontested. I mean, it's nice to be able to add to the lead without having to really work for it.
Chandler is screen. Now here's Moutier. Teague covering. Arthur dishes to Chandler. Just 5 on the clock. Harris passes to Nurkic. And another miss by Denver. The Hawks leading by 10. Teague kicks to Freak. Humphrey sets a pick for Freak. In the corner, Bazemore with it. Splitter sets a screen. The feed to Freak. And they force the shot clock violation. Great team. Let's get some information from the 2K leaderboard. In about the last 10 games in the NBA, during that span, these teams have the most second chance points in the league. The Hawks second.
I mean, you love their aggressiveness, not settling for one shot offensively, but really running down those loose boards and converting for extra points.
And Chandler, here we go. Rebound, Atlanta. Bazemore's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Feeds it to Freak. There's 48 seconds left in the 3rd. Shot's good. And here's Moutier. 6 points for him. Chandler outside. They double him with Freak. In the corner, it's Harris. And stolen by Splitter. 3-on-3. And it's Freak missing.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
Arthur kicks to Chandler. Here's Nurkic. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
Tell you what, Kevin, they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
Clark, that deficit will go away quickly if he does.
And how about how he capped that one out? Almost like the 1-2 punch.
Here's Goodman. Can't hit the free throw line jump. Now here's Moutier. Misses. And here at the end of the 3rd quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. It's Atlanta leading by 10. And do not go away, as we'll be back in just a few moments with the start of our 4th quarter. The 4th quarter just moments away now as we welcome you back. And so it's Atlanta with it. They host the Clippers after this game. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again. Gallinari sits outside at 3 with Farid at the 4. Will Barton is out there with Moutier. That's the group on the floor for Denver. And now we've got the intentional foul.
Check out the game for Corver. He's got 10 points, and he's picked up 6 points from behind the arc.
I love the rhythm his outside stroke has produced today.
He hits the first one, and that puts them up by 5. The Nuggets making a switch here. Barton is checked in. He's off on the free throw and able to get that second one to drop in. What a big possession right here.
No doubt about it, guys. The tension is palpable.
And he's able to get it back. And he gets it back.
Atlanta foul call. That's his 2nd personal foul. 5th team foul. At the line for your Nuggets, Nikola Jokic. 2 shots.
So the first one drops, and that shrinks the margin to just 4. He hits both from the stripe.
And that would have been a killer if he missed one of those, but he was rock solid. That trims the lead now to a one-possession game. And you know what? Smart foul. You got to try and extend the game.
Sure. It's not over. The clock is as much a problem for them as the score is right now, so they've got to try to manage it.
And he does get the second one. And that gives them a 4-point cushion.
They are on the ropes, and it is time to put them away. Freak, we're putting it in your hands.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Hi, Kevin. I was
this
able to hear
and
the
get out of
advice
here
Mike
with the
Malone
W.
gave to his team during that last break. He laid out the X's and O's and told them, we're still alive, guys. We just got to work together, trust each other, and play our backsides off. Kevin, we'll see if they've got enough in the tank to get over the top.
Team is in the penalty. At the line for your Nuggets, Emmanuel Mudiay. 2 shots.
First free throw is good, and that narrows the lead down to just 3. And he cannot convert on the second. That misses.
By missing one of those, that leaves them needing a 3 to tie it up. Not the ideal situation.
No choice but to foul there, but he's probably the last guy you want to see on the line.
But there was no time really to be selective. Stopping the clock was the priority.
And no good as the first free throw missing for him. We'll see if he can nail the second. And the second of 2 is good. That gives them a 4-point cushion. "17 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And here's Chandler from the arc. Count it! And what a sensational bucket to bring them within 1. Here is Korver, and now an intentional foul. They need the ball back as soon as possible. It's the first, and that will put them up by 2. And so both free throws are good, and it's a 3-point game.
Yeah, those free throws make things a little more simpler right now. They just have to guard against the three-pointer.
To tie it up. And so the big win by Atlanta in a tight game. This win, such a tremendous emotional boost for them.
Really,
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Welcome back, Ernie Johnson, along with Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Let's quickly move forward now to the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Paul Millsap. Just a monster first quarter of the game. He came out hot, and folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure.
As I was saying, Got a real big problem, all this kitty stuff. Your evil twins, CC and Dom, got you doing Vet, what was that word he was using?
Rebrand?
No. Recalibrate. All this stuff they got you doing to recalibrate your images costs you in the hood, fam. Yo, the streets is watching, and they're not convinced.
Vic, how many times do I have to tell you? The streets ain't always right.
Nah.
Some people say you're just a hanger-on, that you're a leech. Why is that the word?